All right, so the next suture I'm going to show you is the vertical mattress, okay? And I've just loaded my needle again, and I'm ready to show you the vertical mattress stitch. And so the vertical mattress, again, the same principles apply, except there's one thing different. I'm going to start in the middle again, but this time I'm going to start a wee bit further back from the wound edge because you start a bit wider, because you're basically going to take a wider bite, you're going to come out wider, then you're going to take a shorter bite right at the lip and come out at the lip and bring the edges together very nicely. I typically use these types of sutures when I'm doing a suture on along a joint area where there's a lot of tension and stress on the tissue, okay? And up in the upper back, or over the elbow, around the shoulder, around the knee. I'll typically use a vertical mattress stitch there when I want to have extra strength, okay? So here's how I do it. The same sort of principles with suturing, except I'm going to start back a little further back. You see I'm back about 1 centimeter this time, okay? And I'm going to come out about 1 centimeter, a little bit further back this time. Okay, you see, that's a little bit further back. And you see how I rotate my fingers when I'm moving the stitch? I don't pull against things. I always want to rotate things. That way I don't tear the tissue, okay? So I'll pull I always like to leave as little tail on the other side as possible, okay? And then this time what I'm doing is I'm going to load my needle backwards, and this time I'm not going to be way back here. I'm going to be a little bit closer to the middle, because now I'm only taking a very narrow, very sort of a couple of cell layers of tissue here, okay? So sometimes you can see this suture gets a little bit bent, a little bit kinked up, but that's okay as long as you're aware of it. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. I've got my needle loaded, and again I've got my fingers out of the hole so I can use the full rotational ability of my fingers and my wrist. Again, I'm going to come in at 90 degrees to the tissue, but right on the edge and just into the dermis, like that. You see that? And then again, I'm going to come right into the dermis and out, and I'm going to rotate it like this. And I'll take hold of my needle, and again, I rotate. You see it? It's all in the wrist action, right? And then I'm left with 4, let me show you what I have. I've got an entry point here. That's number 1. Number 2 is my exit point there. Number 3 is my entry point here. Number 4 is my exit point. And you see I had to go into the wound. When I entered here, I went into the wound. When I came over here, I had to start in the wound and come outside. And then you're basically left with a nice, a very simple closure, just like we've done. You can do a simple, a single, okay, like so. Watch this. Yeah, just bring those edges together, not too tight. See what I just did? Sort of hold it together nice. Or you can, and then I'm going to put my second throw. There's my, look at my instruments going away from me this time. Hand away from me and instrument towards me. There's my third throw. Look at my finger. My middle finger is doing the tension, doing all the tying now. And then my fourth throw, and I'm using my middle finger again. There's my square knot. Okay, nice little vertical mattress stitch. I'll do one more to show you. And then again, I go down on the knot and just a little bit above the knot. And I'll do it again this time with maybe using the 4-0. Okay, because it's just a little bit not quite. I'm using the 3-0 just so that you can see better. You know, and you know, for a wound like this, you might use a 3-0. You know, you probably would use something that's going to give extra strength to that. Okay.